July 17th, 1992. A beautiful and healthy son was born to Mike and Anna Nowak. They named him Nick. They loved Nick more than anything else in the world. It wasn't until around the age of 4 that he was diagnosed with autism. Autism is defined as a mental condition characterized by difficulty in communicating and forming relationships with other people. When Mike and Anna were told the news, naturally they were in disbelief, until that disbelief turned into discouragement, and that discouragement turned into depression. But the thing about Mike and Anna is that they were two of the most stubborn people that you will ever meet, and they aren't going to stand for depression. They decided that autism wasn't going to be a problem for their family, and they decided that they're going to do whatever it takes to raise and to love this son to the best of their ability. They took on the hardest task that any parent could do, raising their autistic child. The purpose of this presentation is to tell you about the charity Autism Consortium and why you should donate. Autism Consortium catalyzes the rapid advances in the understanding of autism by fostering collaboration among families, researchers, and their donors. Their mission is to improve the care of the children and the families affected by autism and other neurological disorders. Autism is the fastest growing developmental disorder in the United States. It now affects 1 in 68 children. According to Autism Speaks, it costs more than $20,600 per year to educate a student with autism, compared to about $12,000 to educate a person without autism. Even then, 63% of the children with autism are not in the kind of school their parents believe would best support them. Since autism is the fastest growing developmental disorder, we need to change the perception that raising a child with autism is a burden rather than a blessing. We have this perception due to the fact that it costs so much more money to raise an autistic child. The US cost over a lifespan is about $2.4 million for a person with autism compared to about $1.4 million to a person without autism. And then another factor that contributes to making the general conception about raising an autistic child bad is because it is so hard for the parent to raise an autistic child, both physically and mentally. Autism Consortium helps with this. This is what this charity concentrates on. Most of the autism charities out right now are focused on finding a cure, whereas Autism Consortium is more focused on the care of the children and the families affected by autism. I'm not saying that they don't work on finding a cure, because they do, but their main concern is the care of the actual families affected by autism. The major program that they run is the Department of Developmental Services, and these are just centers that offer a wide range of information and resources, parent training, workshops, and specialized programs for children, teens, and young adults with autism. Currently, 7 of these are located throughout Massachusetts, but the goal is to open more of them throughout the country. Parents of children with autism are often bombarded with massive out-of-pocket costs, as I said before, and unfortunately in many cases the insurance companies do not cover these costs. So Autism Consortium is very proactive about helping families apply for the available grants that they are eligible for. Back to the story of Mike and Anna. They have been successful so far in raising their son. Nick is now 22 years old, and he has been such a huge blessing on everyone who has met him. If you haven't guessed it yet, Nick is actually related to me. He's my first cousin, and I can personally tell you that he has changed my life and the way that I view it. I hope that every child diagnosed with autism is never seen as a burden, but a blessing. And that's why I encourage you to donate to Autism Consortium, because we need to change the public perception about autism, and that's what this charity is trying to do.